Figured I would dedicate this video for Rippaverse updates because sometimes people miss the streams, people miss the other videos. Look, you need to be following us over at the Rippaverse YouTube. I believe that link is there in the description, but if you just type up Rippaverse, you should be able to see it. On YouTube, we have updates, social media, also Rippaverse, the Rippaverse at Twitter is the handle. Go check all of that stuff out and you will stay up to date as far as what we're doing. Now, we got this merch sale that is just ending that we just did. We're preparing going into the next year. And I just wanted to have this video exist to let you know on our plans for much of the next year. So as of right now, that is. So 2023, next year, obviously Q1, we should be able to get Isom 2 out. That book, I just got, as of today, me shooting this video, the 80th page of 75th page, something like that, 75, 80, I can't remember. But what I'm trying to say is we don't have much left to go to finish the product. Colors, we're about 65 or so pages in of colors. So we just need to edit the script up a little bit more as far as the letters. Put the letters on, send it to the printer. We'll do the pre-press and send it to the printer, then it'll be ready. But much of the heavy lifting, which as far as the artwork, we're almost done. So that will be the next book, Isom number 2. There are some unannounced projects that have been working on. We're going to get some of that stuff, more information out to you guys very soon. One of those is being actively worked on. The script is long done. It's been actively worked on in terms of the pencil, ink, and the colors. All of those have started, and we're probably like 40 maybe pages, roughly, give or take, of pencils. And then when you talk about colors, we're talking maybe 20 or so pages. So those are, moving along. We got the art team nailed down. Everybody signed the contracts, agreements. Everything's ready to go on that third project. And that is, script is completely done. Pencils started yesterday and ink. I actually got some pencil and ink for the first official page on it. And I'm very, very excited for what we're going to be able to do with that. So be sure to be on the lookout going into next year. The campaigns should be back to back to back. So we'll have Isom 2, and then we'll have the other 2 projects. And in between, I'll be writing other material. Depending on how Isom 2 goes and everything else. So the goal is that we're going to be operating with a legitimate release schedule going into next year, and then we'll be putting out books more frequently. Now, keep in mind that our books are big books. Comparison's sake, you're talking 4 to even as much as 6, depending on who you're talking about, months of story, 4 to 6 months of story if you're talking about like the floppy standard floppies, which like have 15 to 20 pages of actual story that are in those. So if you do the math and we put out like 90 pages of it, then we are well ahead of where we need to be. So don't expect like Isom 3 to be coming out the next month like you would with another book. Well, we're putting out a lot of material in one. We're having longer reads. So that we can get you guys to really dive into some of these characters and some of these books. We have an entire universe that we have to build here. And I'm very excited. The team's very excited. Also, at the beginning of the next year, we'll have Rippaverse Warehouse 2.0 that will be finishing its construction. We have to deal with the city and all that nonsense. You know, I hate that as a libertarian, to make sure that we can actually get in, but the construction should be finished. The interior construction should be finished on that warehouse very soon, in the next couple of months, and then we'll get my team moved into there. We'll be expanding as far as warehouse team as well, getting more people that are there, and yeah, we're just going to keep operating as a legitimate business as we have. But people have to understand we handle our own distribution. So whereas to the vast majority, like 99% of comic book companies, especially the big ones, have one department, which is essentially not one department, but you get what it is that I'm saying. All they're having to do is handle maybe the art and the actual content and getting it printed, and then that's it. Whereas with us, and other companies like us, we're not just doing that, but we also have to handle the distribution. We're doing our own distribution. So you have 2-3 companies in one, just for the sake of putting out comic books. It's logistical, something that you trust me. If you've experienced it, you've experienced it. So we got a few books in the works. More material. I want to get you guys more merchandise, more of everything. And I appreciate the continued support for not just with Isom, but the other books that I know you guys are going to love. Reading those scripts, editing those scripts has been wonderful because, man, it's lovely watching the universe kind of come together, and we have to all be on the same page. We have to all be kind of operating as cohesive units. So as somebody's writing a character that's in my book, then we have to be on the same page, because really the important part of it is the canon, and every book is like history. So I'm stoked. Know you guys are going to be stoked. Really, it was a stress test. That's what Isom 1 was, a stress test and a really all-around testing of where the market was. So you let us know how that looks. We know what our workflow is going to look like. We know kind of what our capabilities are, what we need to scale up, what we need to fix, what we need to do better, all of that. And we take all that information, and now we move into the next bit, and that's really getting the wheels churning and building those, like really building the train tracks so we can get the train moving very consistently, nonstop, which is where we're at. And I've had the blessing of working with some very awesome people within this industry. Obviously Cliff and Gabe, but there's other artists that will be announcing, other writers that have done a phenomenal job for us, and I can't wait to see what happens of this. I plan to keep this company the same economic structure, and I know it's going to be risky. It means that maybe we don't move as fast as some other companies may, but I'm okay with that. If it means maintaining ownership of the product, my creatives get to benefit the most from it as well, that create my employees, all of that. And that's no external investors. All the investors are internal, and they're me. So the company invests in itself. So the sales from Isom 1, we take those sales and then we package that in a way that has to do with making sure we get this. I have aspirations. Let me just say it. I almost told myself I have aspirations, but I have to take my time with that because that stuff costs money. So when we put out Isom 2, when we put out the other books, we take that, the profit upon which that's made, it's not just going in my pockets. I haven't really touched the Rippaverse money. So when you see $3.7 million, no, it's flattering. You people mention me, oh, he's a multimillionaire now, which by net worth, yeah. But the money, it's not like I get it and I pocket the money. That's not how it works. The money's built into the company. So, and I haven't benefited from it. Like, I'm not buying Lamborghinis or as houses and stuff like that. I'm not doing that. What I'm doing right now is using that money to fund other projects within the Rippaverse. And as we make more profit, those different projects are going to be, let's say, not just books. You know, I do have aspirations, and I would love to get to a point to where there's a live action or animation or video games. You know, I'm a huge gamer. I would love to do that, but that stuff costs money. And generally how it's done is you're talking about licensing off your products. You're talking about selling off some assets to get another company to do it for you. And I'm not really interested in. I would rather, like we did with this, with the books and everything else, I'd rather be the one paying other people to do it for me. That means the ownership is maintained and I don't have to worry about someone screwing up my vision, the vision for the creatives, the vision for the company, if they are to do some sort of adaptation based upon what we're doing. So that means that it's going to be slower in terms of the growth, but it's worth it in the long run. I do think this is going to be the way of the future. It allows creatives to really benefit the most off of their work and not getting mega corporations to get their greasy little hands on your product. So that's the plan. We got 3 books that we'll be putting out. It'll maybe be more by the end of the year, but there's at least 3 books that we know for sure are going to be dropping. All of them are 90 plus pages. And I can't wait for you to learn about the team. Warehouse 2.0, we got to get moved into that. Got to grow the team to keep up with the demand, and it's about giving you guys good material. Can't wait to see more of the theory videos. Fandom continues to grow, and we still have cover C out there for Isom 1, so if you want to get in on it, it doesn't matter just because you got late to the party. It's still a good time to get in, definitely because we're in between campaigns. So that's the plan for 2023 going into next year with the Rippaverse. Wherever you're viewing the content, I appreciate you. If you enjoyed it, you may be interested in my comic book company, Rippaverse Comics. Our first book and campaign, Isom #1, brought in $3.7 million with tens of thousands of satisfied customers. Visit Rippaverse.com to check out our store and stay up to date with the latest campaigns from one of the hottest new comic book companies. Also, my first big step towards a parallel economy was the development of my personal website, ericdjuly.com. This entirely replaced my Patreon. Now, if you enjoy this content, please consider becoming a member over at the website. We have an ever-expanding list of perks for various membership tiers, a forum, and a phone app. Some of these perks will even benefit you if you're fans of the Rippaverse. Anyway, I appreciate you so much for being a supporter and or customer. I even got a little love for my haters.